Kevlar Your personal trainer's personal trainer.
I'm waiting for the intro.
Your favorite coach's favorite coach. The best thing since sliced bread. Kanye West with less sugar. No drama.
At your service, this is David Love, the poet's choice, the man with the velvet voice, and you are listening to Just Cruising.
Love it, love it, love it. Ah, it's beautiful. All right. Today's situation. Let's do this. We have had a few questions from the audience, from our members. So, Dr. Love, would you kindly shoot the first question, please?
I'm going to go with Jay's query first, which is, how do you deal with pride when you just can't let something go? Even though you know you should, you just can't let something go.
Pride. That's a you problem. To cut it short.
That's what I was thinking.
Problem.
I kind of don't have that problem.
It is pride, ego situation. Again, it's a you problem. It's internal. It's very internal. It's internal, and it's based on missions, visions, values. Yes, last time. If you're right, whatever it is, whatever goals you have, whatever plans you have, whatever it is you're doing in your life for yourself, if your goals are big, if you have goals and you're actually going somewhere, you're doing something and you're actually getting somewhere, whatever happens to you doesn't matter. Whatever someone throws at you, as long as it's not part of the big picture, ego, pride is not there. When you have no goals, or when your goals are very, very small, and when that thing that's bothering you is actually bigger than your goals, that's when ish hits the fan.
I love it.
That's simple. Again, it falls back to, that's a you problem. See what I did there? I gave it short, gave the long, and then back to short again. Full circle. Yeah.
Love it.
Because, best believe you me, on the flip side of it, no one's perfect. The fact that we are imperfect makes us human. I need to explain this. The fact that we are imperfect makes us human. The fact that we are human makes us imperfect. We are perfectly imperfect. It's a human thing. For example, you can put both hands together. One hand is always 1 millimeter longer than the other. Legs are the same thing.
Yeah. Feet ain't the same. Yeah.
For almost a decade, I was doing boot camps, personal training, and I did a lot of measure-ups. I did a lot of measure-ups. So, for example, I'd measure people, their pectorals, their chest, their torso, their waistline. I'd measure their left bicep, right bicep, left forearm, right forearm, left thigh, left calf, right calf. Now, here's what's interesting. The left calf, if the left calf is bigger than the right calf, what that means is the left thigh would be smaller than the right thigh. Compensation. My saying is, both body parts are not equal. If you as a human being haven't got a perfect body part that's equal, why would you expect perfection from somebody else or something else? We are imperfectly perfect, because that also means that we need to constantly grow and make ourselves 1% better every day. So the issue of ego and or pride will always come in. That's now up to you to fight your inner demons. It's up to you to tell yourself, nah, you don't need that. I'm making it more important than it actually is. Because you have to question that. Why does that bother me?
Yes, that's what I was just thinking.
You know, and then if it's really bothering me, how exactly is it bothering me?
Yes.
Like, what exactly is
What's the root of this?
the root of this? What exactly is bothering me about this particular thing? and why this person, why this thing. Bless you.
Mhm.
You understand? Why this person, why this thing. Simple as that. You know? Simple.
Mm.
So it's that. Why are you bothered? But again, that's not a question for me to answer.
Yeah.
That's a question for you to question yourself. And you actually face that reality. Yeah. It's quite nice.
Excellent answer. Excellent answer. When I saw the question, because it was sent to me via text, the first, so funny you said it, because when he said it, the first thing I thought was that's a new issue, because he wrote, you know, when you can't just let it go, and I was thinking, hey, this ain't got nothing to do with me. You mean just when I can't let it go is what you mean to say? Because this is an ego thing. Now, it's not to say I've never had that in the past, but it's not so much a thing for me now, because like you said, there's no value in me holding on to those things. So I'll give you an example. I was working a few nights ago. It's a festival, so it's 3 days, it's a lot of long hours. By the end of it, people are pretty burnt out, so their willpower's low, they're much more reactive, they're much more, do you know what I mean? And this girl, I saw her coming into work and get annoyed at a really small situation. Like, she didn't have a wristband she's supposed to wear.
Yep.
And so security said, "Oh, you don't have your wristband." And she's like, "Oh, but I've got the staff shirt on." And then like she was cussing under her breath, like, unbelievable, man. And in my head, I was thinking, but that's the whole reason they gave you the wristband, so that you wear it for the weekend and so they can identify and allow you in and out places. And he's just doing his job. But you could see she was ready to argue. So then when I encountered her on the last day, and she'd been asked to do something, and she was trying to sort of palm the job off onto me. "Oh yeah, could you just clip this down there?" I said, "You need to bend your knees and go do what they asked you to do." Then I didn't do that because I had stuff to do anyway. And she flipped out. It's like she was waiting for a reason to flip out. She was like, "Ah," and I was watching it, and it was really quite surprising. And there was a part of me that was like, who does she think she's talking to? But like you said, if I hold on to that feeling, if I hold on to whether it's frustration or anger or whatever that thing is, if it's not productive, it's like setting fire to your own house.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people don't get this. They think, okay, well, I'm justified in being angry because this person did this, so I'm going to be righteous in my anger. But your anger's not hurting anyone but yourself. So, I mean, your frustration, whatever that negative emotion is. And I spend too much time in higher vibrations to really entertain that shit for long. So I think it's also, like you say, about why does it bother you? Let's say something happens. If you're secure in yourself and you are locked in on what matters, why would the petty stuff be important? If you've got low self-esteem and someone says something to you, then that's going to hit you differently, right? Where you're going to feel like, oh, they can't talk to me like that, because maybe it triggers some insecurity or something. But if you know you're good, you're happy within yourself, most of the noise is just going to kind of travel overhead, and most of it's not going to stay with you. Do you know what I mean? It'll take a lot. So, yeah, fundamentally, the first word that comes to my mind when I hear that question is ego. It's like working out what's good with you, your self-concept, how you talk to yourself, and what's important. And I mentioned this, I believe, last episode, but this has stayed with me since I saw it. I saw some content that was talking about how important is this in the grand scheme, this situation that you're dealing with. In the grand scheme of your life, the universe, your goals, your values, all those things, how important is it? And most of our interactions aren't even a blip on the radar when it comes to that level of importance. They're not. Like, I'd say 99% of stuff is a waste of your time. So, being real. So now I find it much easier to kind of go, okay, my mind's about to start fixating on something, and it's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Fluff. It's a distraction as well, because it keeps you occupied. It's a kind of self-sabotage, you know.
Isn't that the same thing like your dreams? Whereas you in your dream, seeing your other reality, your dreamscape. You remember when you wake up. You remember the major things that happen in that life. Everything else is just fluff. So because it's all just fluff, your brain can't pick it up. You don't remember that. You remember the incident, the event, this and that, but the long convo before that, your brain just goes, nah, fluff, delete. Same situation.
And you know what's interesting also, connected to what you just said? I had an amazing 3 days. This was right at the end. And bearing in mind, I've smashed it for 3 days. I worked hard, went really well. I actually got gifted a bottle of Moet as Chardon, yeah, as like a prize because I was like the star of the bar basically. They were like, yeah, you killed it. And this, because of the energy of it almost like it had me thinking about that.
Yeah.
When really it was nothing. It was like a 30 seconds out of 30 odd hours, right?
Yes.
And so it's just the perspective shift of being like, nah, this don't matter. This ain't important. This ain't worthy of my energy. And there's a quote I love by George Bernard Shaw. He says, "Never wrestle with pigs because you both get dirty and the pigs like it."
Isn't that like
people want you to come down to that level and be in that vibrational mud with them? You know what I mean? Mud wrestle with them. It's like
there's one I said about 5 years ago. I said,
stay down there.
I said, arguing with people who don't know what you're doing is like playing chess with a pigeon. They're going to, because at the end of it all, they're going to stomp all over the chessboard and think they've won. As simple as that. So, yeah. Crazy. Now, you said about low self-esteem earlier. What does that mean, sir? Why am I asking?
Low self-esteem. Low self-esteem. Esteem is value. Self-esteem is how you value yourself. So it's holding yourself in low regard. And a shortcut would be saying not liking yourself, essentially, like at a really deep base level. And I would say most people don't like themselves.
Where does that come
I
from?
would say that with confidence. Where does that come from? It comes from how they communicate with themselves and how they've been communicated with. You showed me a clip earlier of Richard Williams with, was it Venus or Serena in that interview? Serena. Yeah, Richard was with Serena and she was being interviewed, and at a certain point her dad broke in and interrupted the interviewer because of something he said, which you're welcome to elaborate on because I thought it was a great little teaching lesson. But you know, when I watched the film about them, what struck me immediately was how he was speaking life into his kids constantly. He had signs he put up around the court. He was really implanting an identity and a sense of esteem, you know, like liking yourself, believing in yourself, expecting to win, identifying yourself as a winner, as a champion.
I haven't seen that film.
You need to see that film. Like that. I don't really watch many films now because I find nowadays most films suck, if I'm honest. But that really surprised me. You should watch it. Okay. I didn't expect anything good from it because I'm used to just men being portrayed in a negative light. But I was really pleasantly surprised by that film.
Okay. The video with the interview was quite important. I think it was Serena Williams at 14 years of age, and she said something. She said she was going to win the tournament, and she said it with confidence, right? The interviewer, whether it was conscious, unconscious, or subconscious, started to subtly implant doubt in her mind. There's a subtle way. Because when I say to you, I'm going to do something, if you say to me, are you sure? I just might punch you. I just might. Here's why. Because don't doubt me. I'm not that person. I'm not that man. If I say I'm going to do it, best believe in me, I'm going to do it. Right. This child says, I'm going to do it. And then this guy, in three different ways, in literally less than 10 seconds, he was implanting doubt. How? One, it was the non-verbal, which is tilt the head sideways. Look, that's doubt. We see what you don't see. There was a tilt, there was a delay, and there was the first question, and then the second question, which is instilling doubt.
And
now
the tone of the question
tone.
as well. Yeah.
So
yeah.
To everyone else, it's like, oh, nothing happened. Insinuation. Now the father saw the subtle signs and immediately jumped on it. To everyone else, it seemed like it's a small thing. No.
Yeah.
As a
It seemed
teacher,
over the top.
as a teacher, as a mentor, as a father, that's a big deal, because that's what catches it. When I teach, when I train professional fighters, it's the same damn thing. It's the same damn thing. If you see me with pro fighters around their own wives, around their own partners, I'm Richard Williams. I'm that guy. Don't bring your wife around you. Don't bring your girl around you. Because why? You can't be soft. You can't be in doubt right now. For this moment, you're going to war. War hat on. Done. It's very important. To lead, that's who you need to be. You can't be nice. Try not to be mean, but be necessary. Which is what? You attack the problem with the necessary tools. In the moment, those who don't see what you see are going to question your actions. They're going to doubt you everything. They're going to go, no, you shouldn't have done that. Your octave was like 1 millimeter higher than
too harsh.
You shouldn't have done that. You don't know. Again, arguing, you're playing chess with a pigeon. Simple. You will argue with people who don't know. Don't do that. In that moment of him interrupting, it seemed quote unquote aggressive at the time, but guess what happened? That didn't happen again. That question didn't come up again. One. Two, that child understood one important thing. My father has my back.
I'm protected. Yep.
That one action,
Beautiful.
that one moment poured on for a lifetime. So with parents, tell parents this: if ever you're in a situation where someone else is instilling doubt in that child's mind, intervene immediately. I don't care what everyone else says, how you are seen in the public in that moment. That's your child, that's your legacy, that's your student, you're the mentor, they're the mentee. You want to make sure they have the confidence of everything immediately. Example, I've been training fighters for almost 2 decades now, right? These people, many of them have the tools to become champions, world champions.
Physical tools.
Physical tools.
Yeah, I thought so.
Physical tools. What happens is somewhere, some way along the line, a seed of doubt was planted. In my absence, a seed of doubt was planted. You see where I'm going with this?
100% see where you're going with this.
And that's all it is.
I've
Because
seen it too.
you will see them go to the very, very top. To the very, very top. Everybody who sees the physical would say, you can do it. You can win. You deserve to be this, that, and the third. Everyone that sees the physical. Those who don't know the mental warfare, the mental battles, that's what they're going to say. But those who know, they can see your little one step backwards. It's subtle.
Can I say something?
Go on, sir.
This connects perfectly with what I was saying about self-esteem, because I keep coming back to this idea, but you cannot outperform your self-image. Right? So let's say...
would you kindly say that again, please, sir?
You cannot outperform your self-image. Maxwell Morse said that.
Where's my pen?
You like that? I'll text it to you. I love that one, right? But it's also like you can't perform under it, right? It's almost like a thermostat. right, which defines the temperature. So let's say, for example, you're training a fighter, and for him to be a world champion, his self-image has to be at 8 or 9 or whatever. If his self-image is only at 5 or 6, when he goes beyond that, he'll self-sabotage unconsciously.
Yes.
He'll do something, he'll get injured, he'll get caught up in a relationship, he'll take a break from training, he'll take a job which interferes with the training. Like, he'll do something, right? Even though you haven't told me this, I already know.
Accidentally on purpose.
Accidentally on purpose will stop himself because he's gone beyond what his self-image is.
Yes.
And that's why I'm realizing more and more your self-concept is so important. You've got to upgrade it as well, do you know what I mean?
It's all so true. Oh no!
I see the code.
No, I would take the fight, but on that day, my girlfriend is doing her nails.
Okay. Yeah.
I would blah blah blah, but
yeah, it's Mercury retrograde.
You know, yeah. Just and I go, cool. I see it. Are you disappointed? I'm like, dude, do you?
Deep stuff, man.
You see that too often, and this is why you need like a sports psychologist. So who needs to play in the mindset, because it's all nice and fine and dandy. Physically, you can do everything physically. Yeah, it's good. But game. Your esteem, your self-esteem kicks in. There's lower, higher self-esteem. Because at the moment when you needed someone to go, no, you can do it. I believe in you. Everyone was like, no, I don't believe you can do it. Are you sure? Are you sure? You know, this is why when I hear things like that, I get super offensive. Because I lash out. No. You don't question someone's moves, because that person is a person of their word. They've said to you once, they're gonna do it. The fact that you're asking again for the second time, get out of my room. Simple as that. Because if you plan again, hence the Kanye West with less sugar, no drama at all. If you're gonna question what I've said, why are you here?
That's because you're a man of your word.
Exactly.
For you, your word is law, your word is bond.
I became a man of my word by myself.
Yeah, that's virtue.
So if you bring your own personal doubts to this space, take it somewhere else. That's the whole point of it. Your own personal doubts is a you problem. That's why I'm very, very watchful. I'm very careful how people speak, what they say. There's power in your words.
Yes.
So don't bring that here. You know.
Something connected to that, and I alluded to it already. Ownership, owning things. Oftentimes when people speak, they'll say you or they say we, when really it's I.
Yes.
And there's a coach / therapist I was speaking to maybe a year or two ago, connected through Instagram. I think they commented on one of my posts, and we had a little back and forth. And at one point we were having a conversation, and I said to him, you know when you, then he said, no. He goes, there's no you here, mate. He goes, this has nothing to do with me. You're talking about yourself. He's like, so own that. And I started to notice how my mind would try to distance itself from things sometimes by saying we or you, when really it's I. So that's a really powerful one, which I've been much more aware of. Now and again one will slip through, but I'm a lot more aware of when I need to be real and own something now. I
do that as well. So, but the way I do it, I go one word. Just one word. So someone say, oh, we decided, and I go, we.
Yeah.
We.
Perfect. Efficient as fuck.
I was a long time ago.
I just started to notice it.
No. Long time ago, I was in this relationship, and it was hectic. It was a very hectic relationship, and the thing about me is I'm not a quitter.
Okay.
I don't quit. It's like, it's hectic. Okay, there's a way to fix things, make things 1% better.
Right.
So what happened was she tried to friend zone me, like break up. and go, oh, we've broken up. We decided to break up. I said,
That's a crazy context to use. We.
it's real. It's real. But it's again, it's a toxic
We've
mindset.
decided to break up.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I go, we.
That tells me a lot.
I just remember that as well. I was like,
that tells me a lot about that woman, you know.
I was like, okay, I get it. It's the passive aggressive thing. You want to say or do something, but you don't want to be offensive. You don't
want to take responsibility for it.
And also, you like what you've got, so you want to be able to go and venture.
So you want to be able
come
to
back,
get some of the benefits
of
right?
this attention and SCX, right? Which basically. You want the SCX, but you need the attention.
And you don't want the label or the responsibility of the relationship.
There you go.
But you want the benefits of it.
And then you also want the okay, we're just friends, and the possibility of never breaking up.
You know, this is interesting. As soon as you said we, and you said that thing, the first thought that came to my head was selfish. Because the word just popped straight into my head. And the way you've described what she wants, that's
you want
all selfish.
You want basically we're not broken up, we're broken up, so you can go and venture out and see there's something better out there.
Yes. But you've still got this as a backup.
The exact insurance policy. And in case that doesn't work out there, come back in there.
Or maybe just have both at the same time.
Exactly. So
maybe
when I was like, oh, I said, no, I know what you're doing. Huh? I know what it is. I'm done with you.
Excellent. That's what I wanted to hear.
No friend zone. No,
nothing.
It's fine. It's been emotional. Peace. Delete numbers. Block numbers. Done. Easy.
Did you block?
Chalice, yes. Please. Block. Simple
Block
as that.
game like the Greek freak.
You know, I'm not gonna change my number for one person. It doesn't work like that. That's all. Now, remove individuals off all platforms. If we're on Facebook together, all of a sudden you can't find me on Facebook because I blocked you. Simple as that. So yeah, it's crazy because that whole sentence thing is it's very important. That's why you speak less and listen more. Pay attention to the words you're using, because many times people are going to throw words out there and not know what it means, or they're going to throw something out there and hope you don't catch it. So tomorrow they'll be like, but I did say this. You just weren't listening. Okay. Pay attention. And you question it. Say, what do you mean by that? What does that mean? I don't understand. Do a Columbo thing. Say, Columbo is an old detective. He always played stupid. He plays stupid to catch dumb. And you go, I don't understand what you mean. You know when you said this goes there, how does it go there? Please explain to my brain, because my brain's not braining. Columbo.
What's funny is when you do that and they realize they don't know what they're talking about or what they said and they can't explain it.
We live in that world today where everybody is trying to say so much in 60 seconds on the video, and that now becomes norm. You're saying so much in less than a minute that it has no value anymore. It no longer means anything.
You didn't take the time to think about what you were saying first.
What's the point?
No.
Simple. Next question, sir.
I was just about to say that.
That's alright.
The flow is real. The next was... It was a question around... so the first one was Jay. Second one is Alvin. Shout out to man like Jay and Alvin.
Man like.
Alvin was asking about who do you take advice from? Who do you listen to? And he mentioned a few potential people who would be not good to take advice from, such as frenemies who might maybe misadvise you, or people who are given advice but never had results. Who do you take advice from?
Me? You asking me?
I'll go first on this one, and then you can finish up. Taking advice makes most sense when you take it from people who have the results you want in that particular area. That's a really simple rule of thumb to go by. And yet, it baffles me how often I see people take advice from people who are unqualified. I've been in a boxing gym and seen someone who's been boxing for a few weeks telling a professional fighter what to do, and the professional's sitting there like, and it's largely because this person just has that much of an ego that when they speak they sound certain of what they're talking about. What they're saying is complete nonsense. I've seen single people who can't hold relationships together giving relationship advice on far too many occasions, having whole podcasts, right?
I love it.
And yet you would never go to a homeless person and say, oh, can I have some real estate advice from you, sir? So that's a really simple rule of thumb I would say, is like, find people who got results in that area, or listen to experts who are actually experts in that area.
Yeah, that's so true. Okay.
Over to you, sir.
Dun. First off, do not take directions from someone who has never been there before.
You just said the same thing as me in a different way.
There you go.
I like it.
That's it. Because there is no other. There's no other explanation but just that. So
I like the way you put that there.
There's no other way but just that. You don't take advice from people who you're not trying to be like. You know, whoever it is, let their actions prove their worth, not their words. Because everyone can speak a good game. Oh yeah. Well, you know, if you okay, what have you done? Have you done what I've done? No. So what gives you the understanding of the path I'm going to take? But it feels like, no. Have you walked that path? Yay or nay? Nay. So, sway. How could you help me? I'll give you an example. Today, I was having a conversation with a gentleman who doesn't fight. Just like a training, which is fine. Everyone starts from somewhere. But what you're not gonna do is try and tell me how John Jones fights. We're not doing that. Like no. You don't know how UFC fighters train. You don't know how professional top echelon fighters train. So you are not in the position to.
I just can't, man. Sorry to interrupt, but this dude's watched a couple of YouTube videos, man, and I can't.
Well,
You've been coaching people for decades, bro.
It's the typical it's fan based. So you'd see a striker in middleweight. You see a striker in light heavyweight, and they're both great strikers. Your fantasy football league is now, this person has fight this person. Bear in mind, it's a lot easier to have that fantasy when you yourself, you're not a fighter. You don't go what fighters go through. You don't do what fighters do. It's like your football league, right? Most people who have that fantasy football league is because they don't run every day. They don't pass the ball every day. They don't do what it takes to be a professional footballer. If they did, they would respect and appreciate and understand the game a bit more, and treat every footballer like a human being. That's very important. That's very important, right? I say this because a lot of people who have that mindset of, this person fighting that blah 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 blah. They're saying it like those people are not human beings.
100%.
That have families, that have loved ones, You understand?
100%. The disrespect is
The
wild,
disrespect
bro.
is mad.
It's wild.
And they're so deep into it, they don't even understand.
Yeah.
You are talking about human beings.
Yeah.
Oh, when it recovers, you fight again. Okay, that man just broke his bones. There's the physical recovery, but then there's now the mental barrier. But again, you see people and you look at them like they're
Objects.
superheroes. Batman, Superman. Oh, Batman can be Superman if they give him prep time. Shut up, bro. You see my point? Same thing. They're not people. They're objects. You objectify people. So, hence my problem with that.
I'm so glad you spoke on this because it's something that really irks me. Fans of combat sports, especially, I don't know what it is.
They don't do it.
They seem to do it even more than they do with other sports. Like the speed with which they'll call someone a coward or this or that and the rest of it. And I understand some of these fighters' media personalities can be polarizing and some of the behaviors can be questionable for sure. Right. However, just a general level of disrespect for people who actually fight for a living when you can't fight, would be scared to fight.
Right.
It's just...
Okay, so sports analysts who haven't done the sport before.
Oh, they're the worst.
Here's what it is. So, if you are a sports analyst and you haven't done the sport before, you need to shut up.
I'm with you on that one.
Shut up, Skip. That's what it is. Because here's what it is like. You've gone on for so long and talk smack about that sport, those athletes and everything, and no one has said to you actually, dude, do you have, have you got, how many hours have you put on court?
Did you see when he got called out by Jalen
Yes.
Rose? Have you seen that?
That's my point. Because that should have happened from day one.
Yes.
Because it doesn't happen.
Yes.
That person gets a little bit more confident as the days go by. So what you do is you go, what have you done? What gives you the authority to tell me how to do what I do when you haven't done it? That's why I say to everyone, like, no, don't take advice from someone who hasn't been there before. It's that simple. Because I was saying today, it's like, no, you don't, for the MMA game, you don't know anything about that. There's the ground, there's the grappling, there's the wrestling, there's the submission, there's the boxing, there's the kickboxing, and then after that, there's now going to be, in wrestling, it's called wrestle the tree, circle the tree. You don't know about that, exactly. You don't know about angles, head and shoulders. You don't know about head-to-head movement, head-to-chest movement. You don't know about deception. There's a lot you don't know about. So when it comes to that, stop it. Don't do it. Don't be that guy. Because you're around your other drunk friends talking. Don't be that guy. You can talk around there, but don't even, don't bring me here because I will insult you.
100%.
Why? Because you're insulting my game. We don't do that here.
You know what it also reminds me of? I remember a conversation we had a while back, and you explained how when men aren't competing in their lives, like against themselves, against who they were yesterday, when they're not pursuing things with that kind of focus and aggression,
yes,
a lot of times they'll be doing things like playing video games, and this is almost like another way for them to express that thing.
Yes.
And so this energy is what we see manifested when people are arguing in comment sections or doing the nonsense you're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like if they were actually in the gym sweating, sparring, doing all of this stuff, they wouldn't do all that stuff because the two things don't really go together. It's like deep down you know you're a bitch, but you're not.
Deep down you know you're a bitch. With the B you put, you're a bitch.
You know you're a bitch, but you don't want to address it, so you want to point the finger and go, oh, he's this and he's that. And da-da-da. When I first boxed, because I've watched boxing for years. Growing up, I remember watching some of the legends, like back in the day. We watched a lot of boxing. We watched martial arts. We watched kung fu films. So martial arts was all in my psyche early. When I first started boxing, like properly, I would say, I'd done a lot of martial arts, like a lot of years of martial arts. But it was completely different because now you're hitting a bag and you're getting immediate feedback. Like it's telling you, okay, your wrist isn't straight, you know, your knuckles are not conditioned, your knuckles aren't calloused, your body can't take the shock of the weight of that
Going heavy.
recoil. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
I had to like relearn stuff, and it was very humbling at first. And then sparring, now you're realizing, okay, I don't know how to hit a moving target. I don't know how to judge timing or distance. I don't know how to block a punch, keep my eyes open. Like initially I'm like flinching, I'm closing my eyes, right now I can't see. So now I have to learn to look even as a punch is coming at me. I have to learn how to deal with being tired. I have to learn how to hide if I'm tired or afraid or whatever else is going on, which isn't strong in that moment. So my respect for fighters just went like immediately. I was like, okay, some of the stuff I've seen people do that they've made look easy is not easy at all.
You have to also keep your form when you're tired.
You have to keep your form. That's one of the hardest things.
That's the hardest thing right
You
there.
got to control your breathing. You can't be like as soon as you see
hands
that,
on your knees.
the guy gets stronger when he sees that. So I look for those little things, that someone's, you know, sagging in between rounds, breathing through their mouth. When you hit them and you see that fear in their eye or whatever, like you're always looking for those little chinks in the armor. So it's such a total discipline to me, because your mind has to be strong. You have to have some strategy. You have to be physically strong. You have to be mentally strong. You have to be able to control your emotions. You have to be calm under pressure. You have to be able to push when you feel like there's nothing left, and find another second wind, a third sometimes.
Yeah.
People don't know about those things. They've never been in those situations.
Just standing in the moment
Just holding your hands up.
drains you. Just hold, you know, that's that. But everyone's being too nice. Nah, shut up. You don't know. Get out. Move. It's a thing. So, but the culture we've come into has been the critic culture. So you have lots of people who make a lot of money online from being critics. Reaction videos, criticizing what everyone is doing, and again, they've not realized, no one is saying back to you like, dude, what have you done? So they've gone further and further. They've not been checked. No one has checked them. Example, one of the quote unquote biggest journalists, quote unquote, in the UFC game, not MMA game, UFC game, is a man called Ariel Helwani.
You're gonna mention him.
Yeah, I called him. Like, what have you done? Nothing. Nothing. You just stood there, just asked stupid questions for long enough, and everyone said, "Oh, you know what? He's the guy that, you know, interviews fighters." But he's not the guy. He's just been there long enough, and no one said to him, "Who are you?" So now he's now established that, "Oh, I've been here for more than 5 years." Yeah, but what have you done? This is why things like the Jackson podcast and more fighters who basically start doing podcasts today, everyone likes them because they are giving what we did not know we wanted. The personal point of view from someone who has walked the walk before, and then there's the real questions of this is happening. You're making that fighter feel like a human being. You're asking fighters real human being questions.
Those interviews are always much more interesting too, because like you say, because the people who walk that walk, the insight that comes with those questions is way deeper. You'll find a lot of times, and this is across all sports, you find a lot of times when you see interviews with athletes, they make the athletes look dumb.
Yes.
And this really annoys me.
Yes.
Because, okay, that football player might not have verbal intelligence off the scale or mathematical intelligence off the scale.
Yes.
But his knowledge within certain areas is genius.
Genius.
His physical intelligence is off the chart. His spatial visual awareness is probably crazy.
Yes.
But because these people don't understand the sport on a deep enough level, they always end up with these really dumb questions like, what does it mean for you to win in front of these fans here today? Like, it's just always these soft, just really meaningless, generic questions they come with.
Again, it takes someone who has walked the path to understand the right question to ask them.
100%. To in such a way that they can shed some light on something or give the audience something the audience might not have got. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I really like the fact that people that have that background are coming into it. One of my go-tos is like when I now and again, because I'm a troublemaker, now and again when someone says something stupid which shows me that they know nothing about combat on any level, I would just say, how many fights have you had? And that usually ends that conversation quick. Or they'll try and say something like, yeah, but this coach was a great coach and he didn't play in the NBA. Like, they'll try and come, with some shit like that usually. Usually a lot of backpedaling.
Yeah, so that's it. We don't take advice from anyone who hasn't walked the walk. Do not look up to someone who you're not trying to be like. Your mentor has to be one of actions, not words. The people you have to ask advice from have to be the ones that are walking the walk, or they are going towards where you would like to be.
I'm so glad you said that, because I actually wanted to raise that today as well. Thinking about it more and more. I just want to be around masters, people who are really just killing it in whatever they do.
Yeah.
And I was curious to get your thoughts on that. Like, so I'm just gonna put myself in those spaces where I'm around the best writers I can be around, the best martial artists. I'm doing calisthenics. I want to be around the best calisthenics athletes, coaches, whatever. I just want to,
You want to be
have
around
that exposure.
Around people where it makes you feel like you haven't done enough.
Yeah, exactly. Where you're uncomfortable on a certain level, because you're like, oh, okay,
not bad. I need to do more.
That's the stuff that makes you. It's similar to if you were hanging around runners who were all better runners than you. I mentioned Crystal Palace to someone recently. I don't know if I told you about this, but did I mention this last week?
You did.
I did, didn't I? Yeah. Like, just the level of athleticism. I don't know how to explain, man. It was because I was so close to it. Do you know what I mean? You could literally feel the power. And I was like, okay, the human body is like capable of this.
And for them, it was just Tuesday.
For them, it was literally just Tuesday, because this happened last Tuesday. It was, they're just hanging out, talking, cracking jokes, get up, down this, and just, bro. You know how the melanated people are built anyway. When I found out these guys were like in their 40s and 50s, I was absolutely speechless.
Yeah, but
I was like,
but are you sure?
what? I felt like one of those white people. I was like, sorry, how old again?
How old are you?
He's in his 60s. There was a guy in his 60s. I saw Sprint, and I was like, man can't run like that in his 60s. That don't make no sense.
I like that. You look good for your age. No.
I look good.
Period.
That's my shit.
That's it. No.
I look good for any age.
I look good. You looking for no?
Don't try it.
Hashtag trying it. No.
We both know what's happening there.
Yeah. I look
They
good.
try to give me that backhanded compliment.
Come at me like that. Compliment me. I'm trying to downplay it. No. I look
We're
good.
not doing that. We're not doing that. I do the same thing, man.
Nah.
Really good for your age now.
How old are you? Oh,
well. Life choices.
It's all good. Yeah, I like that. Next question, sir.
I was just going to ask, in terms of the hanging around with that elite core, like, what's your thoughts on building those connections? Because this is something else people often ask me, like, oh, how do I find a mentor? How do I find people who are really great in my field?
You ask questions. And you don't be afraid to learn, and don't be stubborn.
Yeah.
Do not try to... Yeah, be coachable. Do not try to hinder your blessings. I say this because I have people where as I go, I see them and I know where they are, and I know that these 5 steps are the steps that will help them to get to where they want to get to. And those steps are based on the emotional, not the physical, right? And if they miss the emotional, the physical won't get in there. So when I'm on step 1, trying to go, oh, it would be a good idea if you did this way, that way, less of this, more of that, comes the resistance. The resistance to accepting help. the resistance to accepting advice, to accepting that I've been there before.
Pride,
I
ego.
know- There you go, full circle. I know that more than you think I know. So the fact that there's that resistance from the jump, I go, yeah. If I'm trying to help you with the small stuff, and you're gonna play resistance, there's no need for the big stuff. If you can't handle the small stuff like this, you don't need the big stuff.
It's like you're inside my head. This is exactly where I'm at now.
That's it.
And I'm testing early. Sometimes I'll suggest something, and based on the level of cooperation or whatever with what I've said,
Yes.
I already know what I'm facing.
Yes. Thank you. That's it.
I'll give you an example. I had connected with someone a while back, and I said, okay, when are you available? We'll hang out. She comes with a date. We agree on a date, and she tells me the time frame. I'm like, okay. Location, time, meet me here, blah blah blah. Comes back, wants to change the time and the location. Oh, could we meet this hour instead, and could we meet here? It was unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? I said there's a specific reason I suggested this. Blah 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 blah. But you know what? Considering that you've obviously got other stuff going, let's just reschedule. She's like, okay.
Did you reschedule?
No. Good. I could already see like the level of, do you know what I mean? Just nonsense.
Yes.
If there's a valid reason, obviously, I get that. But when it's already been established, okay, this is okay, and then it's like, but actually, this isn't actually, like, my time for that.
Yeah, but no, but. Yeah, but no, but. Yeah, but no, but. I'm not doing that. Yeah, it's true. It's very true. It's very dangerous. Be coachable. I see this regularly, and it worries and bothers me. I don't understand. I think some people think that if they resist coaching, I'm gonna push coaching more on them. Oh,
really?
No, Timmy, it's okay. You're coachable. You just don't know that in your heart.
Don't do that.
I don't do that. Don't do that at all. No, and if I say something that I know based on what I do, and then you start to question my stuff and trying to tell me what you feel like telling me based on what you don't know that you don't do.
Mate.
Just go, yeah. I had a case of someone called my gym and said, okay, that we do sparring here. So yes, we do sparring. So basically, in my gym, you don't just rock up and spar. This is not the movies. We don't do that in my gym. Right? Because in the movies it happens.
Yeah.
Hey, new guy, come over here. Spar with me. Yeah. It's a real fight. He now knocks me out. And now he's the champion of the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have no idea if he has mental health issues or anything. We just throw him in.
Family history.
Traumas.
Records. Police
Criminal
records.
records.
Whatever, man.
Just
hey,
go for
new
it.
guy, you look like a tough guy. Come on, even fight me. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But you see that, and in your unconscious subconscious, you now think this is how martial arts gyms are. No, it's not. I have a policy of you don't spar until the coach sees you're mentally fit to spar.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nothing more, nothing less. You can sing from now to next year. I've said what I've said. Even for PT one-on-one sessions, you don't just spar. We're not doing that. So, and whenever I get someone, because all my members know this. Whenever someone rocks up for a sparring class and they miss the fundamentals, they don't like what happens next. And I tell them, I'm not gonna butter it up. This is what it is. If you miss the fundamentals and come for sparring only, you have absolutely disrespected me and my gym and everyone else in here as well.
100%.
Because no matter how good you are in the world, you still need to stick to the basics. I stick to the basics on a daily basis.
The best players.
I have
best
trained
basics,
for 35 years, 3.5 decades. To this day, I still do the basics.
To this day.
To this day. No question about that. So, you're not better than me. You're not. And so now, this phone call comes in. Oh, I want to put my boyfriend in for a PT session. Yeah, we can do that. But he wants to do sparring. I said, do you want a PT session or sparring session? Sparring. Right, we don't do that here. If for the one-on-one sessions, we do one-on-one with the coaches, but the coaches decide if they're spar ready. Oh no, he's ready to spar. He knows all this. He just wants to spar.
I just said to the coaches.
The coaches, not you. 1, 2. And she now says to me that, oh, he doesn't need training. He's already good. Nope. No one is that good. Again, it's someone who doesn't know. That's my point.
100%.
You can't take advice from someone who hasn't walked the path. The fact that you're saying that means you don't know. Means you live in an assumed world. And I go, no. Here's what it is. Let me talk to your boyfriend face to face.
I'm also
Come to my
if
gym.
he told her to say this stuff to.
That's what I'm saying. I said, I hear you, but the best conversation for me is face to face. It's that simple. Because I hear what you're saying, but we don't do it here like in my gym. We're not doing that. Not at all. No. Oh, but I'm gonna pay you. It's not about the money. I don't care about the money. It's my way. This is how we do it in this gym. It's not the money. Do not again. So now, red flags. Another thing that people tend to do is, whenever someone says to me, "I'm paying you for this," I immediately go, "No, you're not. You're paying for my time." It's very important. My time is that important to me. You are paying for my time. I cannot be here. You came to me. I chose to be here. Difference. Yeah. Mad world. But so yeah, turn on that one.
Good.
We don't play that.
Can't. Like you have to keep your. The first thing is for you to protect the people that are in the gym.
Yes.
Protect yourself at all times.
There you go.
It's the first rule of fighting, and you gotta protect your people because who knows who this guy is. You know?
Right. So
I've seen some disasters, man. Seriously,
Dude,
I've seen some, and I know you
I'll
have
tell
too.
you.
That's
I'll tell
why you're
you.
so adamant. You probably got 100 stories or some nutty behavior in a boxing gym. Like,
right. You go online and you see what we call like sparring wars. All the sparring videos and everyone's going hard and people get knocked out. Yes. Do you know why? Because most times the coach is there, but the owner of the gym isn't. It's very important. Here's why. So, the person who is the coach, he has one job: train the fighters. So, regardless of what happens to the fighters, he still gets paid. One second. So, regardless of what happens to the members, he still gets paid, right? So, doesn't really care if anyone gets hurt, because comes on Tuesday, does his thing, gets paid, goes home, and then you lose members, and you go, "Oh no, members are being lost. What happened?" You see my point, right? So that's one thing. Okay. It's my gym. I care about everybody that comes in. And I make sure they're looked after. Right? Good. So you can spar, but we're not sparring hard today. There's not time yet for hard sparring. If you want hard sparring, I'll give you hard sparring. Me and you personally, hard sparring. Simple as that. Now, 2, this is what happens everywhere you go to. You have the guys who train every day. If you notice, the people that train every day have a steady state flow of training. They go good, they go hard, but they don't overdo it on a daily basis. So when it comes to sparring, they spar on Monday with the idea that, oh, I would like to spar with you tomorrow. What does that mean? I'm not going to knock you out today. Even if I can, I won't. Because I understand that every day I'm learning. Now, so there's progress. The ones who train once in a while, once a week, once in 2 weeks, once a month, here's a consistency. Whichever style you do, here's the consistency. They feel guilty for not training all those days. So when they come and train on Wednesday, they're trying to make up for lost time. And it's an unconscious thing, by the way. It's an unconscious thing, by the way. When they come and train on Wednesday, they're trying so hard to make up for lost time. When they spar, they're sparring hard to make up for lost time. That's when injuries happen. So when I see someone that's not training all the time, I go, okay, good, you're not sparring. No, not sparring, because I know where your head's at. Last but not least, the ones who are highly caffeinated, I won't let them spar.
Interesting. Elaborate a little bit, please.
So, if you're not the master of your brain, of yourself, of your being, you would not see subtle signs, subtle changes in it when you take substances. So, for example, when you are on a high level of caffeine, your whole body is spiking. When your body is spiking, you can't. You think you are very reactive, but your cognitive senses are not functioning properly. I got you. So, here's what it is. I can say a sentence of 10 words. You can hear the 10 words. When you have a caffeine spike in your system, the sentence of 10 words, you can only hear 4 words in it.
Is it that impactful on your cognition? I did not know that.
It's that impactful. So, of the 10 words in sentence, you can only have 4 or 5 if you focus hard enough. But guess what? You're spiked, so you're not looking straight. So 10 words, you hear 4 or 5 words. One. Wow. 2, when you have a high level of caffeine in your system, there's a difference between contact and impact. So, object, this is contact, right?
Impact is called penetration.
This is impact. Difference, right? So, when I say sparring, light contact, the body is highly caffeinated. Again, cognition is off center.
Okay.
So, in your head, you think you're just doing this.
But actually,
in reality, you're going whoop, whoop, whoop.
That's worrying.
Yes. So
because so many people drink coffee is worrying.
Well, coffee is fine. Coffee and Red Bull is not fine.
When you say coffee's fine, how much coffee are we talking to be at the level of caffeinated you're talking about?
So I'm talking about 4 to 5 coffees a day.
I mean, that's a lot of people that drink like that.
That's my point. That's my point. But you drink so much, and it's normalized because you see adverts everywhere, so it's normalized. Because if it's advertised, then cool.
Yeah, it's legal.
I'm doing that. You understand? Like I will drink a Boost. I will drink 1 Boost when I'm teaching from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yeah, because I'm still going. 1, 2. Even if I drank 4 coffees in a day, right? I have enough mastery of my system to know what this is and what that is.
And you wouldn't do that with the boosting. You don't do that every day.
No, at all.
That would be an occasional thing you're talking about,
yes.
Right?
Once
that
in a
makes
while.
sense to me. I was wondering about how it affected, for example, heart rate. So like just how you're like outside of the cognition side of it. I was wondering how being highly caffeinated would affect like your heart rate, because when you're training, your heart's already under a lot of stress in terms of
Yeah.
the cardiovascular workout. Like fighting pushes you differently than any other kind of training I've done.
When you're highly caffeinated, you have an imbalance of heartbeat.
Yeah, that's what I would have thought.
So your rhythm is off center.
Your heart's beating off beat.
You know, it's like
Concussions coming in.
and then you're trying to move the body to match the heartbeat.
Oof.
Regular.
Sounds like a recipe for disaster. Man.
It is. This is why when you teach, there's DTM, dance to music. When I teach, I make sure my classes have the right kind of music, because the music goes for the heart tempo.
So when you say the right kind of music, you're talking about the right genre?
No, that's not a genre.
Or the actual song itself?
The beat itself. The beats.
In terms of beats per minute, or
beats per minute? Yes, the beats per minute determines the heart rate, because your heart follows the beat of the song by exercising. And then
so
your rhythm changes.
What kind of BPM are you looking for? This is real interesting. I love this conversation.
It varies.
I like training to music as well, so I'm curious.
So okay, I'll just give the class. So for those who don't know about beats per minute, I'll help you. I'll make it easy for you. I would go with the song itself. So I'll go with not a genre per se.
But a song.
I'll go with a few groups, like a Chasing Status, because it's not high tempo, it's not low tempo. Chasing Status, obviously, I'm bringing you up over there. And then as the class progresses, Pendulum, Prodigy.
Interesting.
It's high tempo, but it's not rock per se.
Pendulum, Prodigy, Chasing Status.
You know.
Okay.
So it's like that. And then Friction and Kinetic, things like that. It's very, and everyone goes about, it's the same song, yes, but your heart's going at this pace, but you don't know what you're doing. I know what I'm doing. I know what you're doing.
What about hip hop? Could you name a couple hip hop songs?
I
don't. Not play?
I generally don't know hip hop songs, because of the beats per minute are off.
Too slow.
Not too slow. It's a negative tempo to it that affects the soul in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
Hip hop and rap. It puts you on a negative mindset.
So interesting to hear you say that. And you're talking about old music as well as new music.
New music is worse.
New music is worse, right?
Because
I feel it too when I hear it. I just literally feel like it's like it's pulling me down.
It's
not like elevating my spirit.
Yeah. So now with that, just the beat stuff is off, because it puts you on an irregular pattern. And then what's even worse with that is you now have the lyrics as well.
Negative messages.
Messages are offensive. So it's off key, it's off center, it's just off.
It's like that programming yourself in the wrong way.
Yes, exactly. And then when you get that whole thing, you get angrier, you get just more vexed. And what do? You make impact into that. Contact becomes impact.
You need to put a playlist together for the people, mate. Pugilistic playlist.
Yeah, brother. Just like that. Because if you listen, you notice can't be touched, can't be stunned, can't be when will you be stunned. Watch the guys that are trained with those songs.
You can, yeah.
It's different. It's self-centered. It's not community. It's not positive. It's I am going to win. It's me. Nah. And then when they spar other people, their mindset is to take the heads off. With pride.
Wow.
Anyways.
I love this.
What do I know?
You know a few things.
I know. I'm still learning.
It never ends.
Never ends. Next question, sir.
That was it for questions for me today.
Oh, snap. And I'm here like
ready to go.
throwing bullets and everything. Yeah. Well, I've been Careful, I guess. He's been Dr. Love. Like I always say, it's been emotional. Peace.